In this video, we'll talk about how the new dialog component in version 11 allows you to design a dialog first and then automatically create a table that matches the fields in your dialog component. So you can see here that we've designed a simple dialog with a number of controls, and at this point we don't yet have a table in which this dialog can store data. So we go back to design mode and we go to data binding, and you can see here in data binding there are two main commands here. The first command called create new tables, which allows you to create a table based on your dialog design, and the second command which allows you to bind a dialog to an existing table. So if you already have a table, then you can use this command. If you don't yet have a table, you can use this command to actually go ahead and create the table. So let's go there and say create new table, and you can see it's a multi-part dialog. In this case it's going to be particularly simple because this dialog is only bound to a single table. There's no repeating section, or there's no relationships between multiple tables, but this dialog will in fact let you create multiple tables at once, which we'll demonstrate in a subsequent video. So let's go first and define the table and the aliases. So in this case there's only a single table, so let's go here and add an alias for the table, and we can call it customers. And you can see here we explain why you might want to have more than one alias, and this explains under what conditions that would be useful. For example, an invoice application where you have invoice header and invoice items, but in this case it's just a single table. And now for each of the fields in the dialog, we can specify what table alias it's bound to, and in this case there is only one table alias. We can specify what the corresponding field name in the table will be, and what the size of that field will be. So we're going to just default to creating fields with the same name as the control on the dialog, and then let's go ahead here and select everything and make that character say 30, and then go back to state and override that and make that 2, and then go to zip and make that 5. So now we specified the fields for each corresponding control in the dialog, and we can move on to the next step. So now we specify what the physical table name is and whether we want the table to be a SQL table or a DBF table. So I'm going to choose SQL. Let's go ahead now and choose a connection string to a MySQL database, and I'm going to just call the table. I'm going to give the table the exact same name as the alias. And so now I can go to step 3, and when I press this button we're actually going to go ahead and actually create the table. So if I go to my MySQL database, I can see that in my demo database right now there are no tables. So let's go ahead now and press the button, and you can see Alpha 5 reports back that one new table was created. And when I go to my MySQL database here and I say refresh, I can see there's my table, and you can see it was created there. It's empty right now. Alpha 5 automatically added a primary key called customer ID, which is an auto increment numeric field. So now that we have created the table, let's go ahead now and see how easily we can now do data entry against this table. So let me pause now and pick that up in the next video.